Hi there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. And to finish off this week, I am using Harvest Hellos for my Creating Christmas video. Now you're probably wondering, Ashley, how are you going to use this set as a Christmas set? But it's going to take a little bit of coordination with some other products. So I've got the Cup of Christmas bundle, and I've got Itty Bitty Christmas. So you could take pretty much any set from any time of the year into Christmas. Almost any set. I'm not going to say that every set is one that you can, but this is what I have created. Now, the inspiration came for this when I was falling asleep last night because I have 2 boxes of spiced apple herbal tea. I was going to do something, I can't remember. Oh, you know, when this bundle came out, I thought that the tea bags were going to fit within the mug. So I was going to do these super cute holders, but alas, I have found a different way. So if you can see this, it's just almost like a little belly band and you just tuck it in. So when I do this one, I'm going to put it a little bit lower so that you can read the spiced apple or have it like that or something. But right now it's kind of awkward. So it's super cute though, isn't it? So you could do this in red, real red, Poppy Parade, Cherry Cobbler, probably Mary Merlot, Granny Apple Green. Like you can do so many different options for this one. You could do a yellow one, so many. So let's get our craft on and make this really cute card. You may notice this tiny little apple. I use Shrinky Dinks and I actually started with the full apple and I did one of the apple slices. So I think we're going to stick with that one because it's just so cute. And I mean, this would work too. So let's get to this. So what you need first is a Whisper White card base. And this is A2 size, so it is 8.5 by 5.5. Is that right? That seems weird. 8.5 across, scored at 4.25, and it is 5.5 inches wide. So we don't need that right now, so we'll set it aside. What we do need is our mat, and this is 3.75 by 5. It's not a usual size mat that I use, but I happen to have it left over from when I was trimming my Poppy Parade down to 6x6 to do this little cutie. And if you missed this video, this was Monday's video, and that would be Monday, September 2nd, I believe. So that was super cute. I used the little buffalo check that's in that tiny keepsakes box bundle. So we're again using Poppy Parade, and we are going to use both the full apple and the slice. And you could use this for any time of year, really. You could use this for a teacher gift. You could use this for a get well gift. You could use it for anything. And you could change up the design based on the tea that you have. Now you will notice I've got little bits and pieces here and there. That was from doing my sample earlier today. I was so worried when I went to bed that I was going to forget this idea and wake up and be struggling to figure out what I was going to do, but it stuck with me. So that was a relief. Okay, so now we can do the slices, and just be sure that you kind of turn them around so that you don't have them all sitting the same way. Like this one can be totally turned upside down. Now, I could have left it at that, but I felt like it was a little sparse. There was something missing. We're going to leave this one mounted on the block here. So what I did was I used the little stem and the leaf just to give it a little something something. And I kept it tone on tone, so I've still got that Poppy Parade. Now I stamped that one in a different spot than I had this morning, so let's just mask this part off. Close enough. Now, if that is going to drive you nuts, just get out your Stampin' Right marker and draw the top on there yourself. Because if you try getting that in the same spot twice, let me just say good luck, my friend. Unless you're using a Stamparatus. If you're using a Stamparatus, then you got this. Okay, and then the leaves, I'm not going to worry too much about getting them close to the stem. And we can't really fit that close enough. You could put a few little leaves here and there just to fill up the gaps, but not the end of the world if you don't do that part. The other thing you could do is use the little apple seeds. And what I thought of doing was putting the apple seeds along the bottom here, but I really want the T and that little belly band to do all of the talking. So our base is done. I'm gonna leave that out. We are going to move on now to the Cup of Christmas, and this is just adorable. It's reversible stamps, which is awesome. So this is patent pending. And I stamped them with Poppy Parade. I had just re-inked my pad, so that one kind of turned out funny. But all you do is ink it up, clean it off, turn it over, ink it up, clean it off. And not only are the stamps reversible, there is a die for each way. Isn't that awesome? So I don't know about you, but when the Smitten Mittens bundle came out last year, I was so not impressed that if I wanted to have a right and a left mitten, one of them would be upside down. We all know what a die looks like, a die cut looks like when it's upside down, right? You can see the crease marks, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. So I was so glad that Stampin' Up! Created both this time. Whoops, and I just realized I did the mug out of Poppy Parade instead of Whisper White. This is what happens when I'm talking too much. That would not stand out at all. So I will put that in my case and save it for another one. So I need a scrap of Whisper White. Now what I can do is, instead of saving that one, I can just cut this part out like that. Waste not, want not. And there is this sweetest little candy cane in this bundle too that you could die cut with white and then red. It's just so cute. You're definitely going to want to add this bundle to your stash. So there is a very cute mug with no inside. Just going to pop all of those out. And then there is our little insert. I guess it's not an insert when it goes on top, right? Now, I am going to cheat, and I'm actually going to use the back side of one of these because I don't have a piece of Whisper White handy. So let's make use of this little sample. Oh, Puppy's saying hello. Puppy's gonna get a red nose. Get out of there, Mika. Out. See, this is proof that she steals my chair. Okay, so we have some red polka dots on that, but once this is on there, you'll never know. Okay, Mika, off. Now the other thing I'm doing while I'm over here is just cutting out a little tea bag tag. You'll see that this card doesn't take very long. You might think it's finicky, but you could make a whole ton of these. And I want to show you, there's, whoopsie, that tiny little tea bag, and then there's one that's a little bit larger with a thicker border on it. There's some holly, there's some sprigs. There's a whole bunch of cute stuff in this one. There's also a little bow. There's the poinsettia mug. Just adorbs. Now, while I have my Poppy Parade out, I'm going to stamp this little yum right at the bottom. Here we go. And I want to show you, if you haven't seen this yet, this is a stamp cleaning pad. So when you use something like Poppy Parade or a stamp pad that stains, this helps to remove some of it. It won't remove all of it, like there is still going to be some staining, but it's a far cry from where it started. And this will work on stamps that you've just inked up and stamps that have been stained for ages. But like I said, it's not going to be perfect. It will get better. If I hadn't used it on these would be incredibly stained. Okay, so I think that's all the stamping we need right now. We will use a little strip for our little belly band on the inside. I'm just using a scrap that I have here. There's a split or a score line in the middle. So I'm going to go just past that. You want this to be it's like a tick past 4 1/4, but it's not 4 3/8. So it's just that one tick in between, and you want it probably about 1/2 inch wide. Precise, isn't it? So that will be for the inside. We will heat emboss that. Now to get this part on here, I am taking my silicone craft mat with a little bit of Tombow. It's probably too much. And a finger dauber that I have dedicated to glue. We don't need to flip that over. And we're gonna take this. You could also use your fine tip glue pen. I find this is easier and more fun. And you get less seepage of the glue. You want to leave a little border on all 4 sides. And then just place it down. And because it's Tombow, you have a couple of seconds to kind of maneuver it before it starts to set. Okay, and then I just take a baby wipe and clean off whatever glue is on there. You can always run it under some hot soapy water to get any buildup off of there. And then this just goes back on my shelf. I don't rinse it or anything. It's tacky, like to the touch, but it's fine. Okay, we are done with Poppy Parade. We are now going to use StazOn to do our apple. So I have a piece of clear Shrinky Dink here. You could use white or the, I think there's even a pearl option now, but you could use either of those. And I'm just going to stamp my apple slice on here. Whoops, I slid. My finger was in the way. Try and do it close to an edge so you don't have to cut it. And when you use StazOn, of course, you want to use your StazOn cleaner. That is the only thing that will get StazOn ink completely off. It also conditions the stamp. So you will see it leaves it nice and shiny and ready to go again. Okay, we're done with that. Always put the lid on your StazOn right away. Put it on, back on right away. And for the apple, I feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour. We are going to use So Saffron, light and dark, dark soft suede, and dark Poppy Parade to color our apple. But we are going to color on the back side, because if you color on the front side, it's going to bleed. Now I do the light So Saffron in that little core area. No, I don't. I do the dark one in the core area. And then I do the light in on the rest of the slice. Now, if you've done Shrinky Dinks before, you know that it gets darker as it shrinks. This is the Poppy Parade. I use the brush tip the last time I tried coloring it, and it's too big. And then we're just going to use our soft suede for the little apple seed. If you've never done shrinking inks before, it is completely addictive. Once you do it once, you'll never want to stop. So the beauty, excuse me, the beauty of the apple builder punch is that it will also punch the slices out. So all you have to do is line it up. When you get it where you want it, push it about halfway down. Now we could do a slice on that side too, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to do the one. And now all I have to do is snip off that excess. Now this next part is key, because if you don't do it, you're going to be hooped. We are going to punch a hole in here. We're going to do it at the top this time instead of the bottom. Any old hole punch will work. And we're going to take out our silicone craft mat again. We're going to flip it upside down, and using your paper piercing tool or your take your pick tool, we're going to heat up our heat tool. Now when you're watching this, I'm going to mute it so that you don't hear this, but when you're watching, pay attention to the shape and the process that this goes through, because I'm gonna get about halfway done and you're gonna think, oh my god, it's ruined. She's gonna have to start all over. Have faith that it's gonna work out, and it will. We're gonna keep our D block there, and you're gonna see why in a moment. You put your paper piercing tool in that hole and let's heat it up. Can't shrink anymore. You're gonna place your D block on there, apply some pressure, and that will flatten it out. Isn't that adorable? And super cute. Well, adorable, cute, same thing. Adorable and super fast is what I meant to say. So we've got our tag ready. We're going to use just a tiny little hole punch for this, and I tend to do 2 punches. It's a little closer to the edge than I would have liked, but it should be okay. We're going to cut a little piece of the Whisper White twine, let's say like 2 inches. Just lick that one end if you need to, so that it goes in one piece. Now you could tie a knot there, but what I like to do is just take a little piece of washi tape and tape it down. And then before you do anything else, you're going to put that apple on there. And there is an obvious front and back. You want to have the stamped side up so that you see that detail. Isn't that cute? Now there's a little line there and there's a little spot there, but honestly, who's going to point that out when they receive this adorable card? I know I wouldn't. I also know that if I complained about something like that to someone, or someone complained to me about that, I wouldn't be making them a handcrafted cardigan anytime soon. Okay, now all we need to do here is add a glue dot. Just so this doesn't move around a ton. You can leave it so there's a little bit of slack in that twine. And now, oops, all we have to do is pop on some dimensionals. Not sure why I turned into a Brit there, sorry. I blame one of my coworkers. We call her Maud. Every now and then she'll throw in this southern accent, and it makes everything sound just so much creepier than she intends it to. It's the context in which she uses it. Okay, Now let's plop this on. Just kind of play around and see where you want it. You don't want to cover up too much of the apple background. Now you could put a glue dot on there as well, but I kind of like that it moves. And this one doesn't move as much because the string is more taut. Okay, now before we glue this on, I want to heat emboss my sentiment. Okay, so you want to use your embossing buddy because we are using white. And I've got my Versamark here. I've got the sentiment from Itty Bitty Christmas, and you're gonna love this bundle. So it's got all of these fantastic Christmas sentiments, and then it's also got some beautiful dies. Not coordinating, it doesn't cut out anything in here, but they are beautiful. You've got snowflakes and foliage and these like stylized stars. It's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put that one little fold part on the inside edge. Okay, so we've got that. Grab some white embossing powder. Now, I mentioned that I have apple tea. This would certainly work for apple cider. So if you're thinking, oh, I love this, but I've got no way to use it, no reason to use it for apple cider. I just happen to have a ton of this apple tea. And I got it from Shoppers Drug Mart. I'm in Canada. So it's just President's Choice Spiced Apple. Smells delicious. But I thought, what am I going to do with like 48 packages of this tea now? Okay, I'm going to heat up my heat tool. There we go. And if you're concerned with the powder sticking around, just wipe it with a baby wipe. Don't wipe the embossed part yet. Give it a second to cool back down. But this also works on basic black cardstock. If you don't like that powdery look from using the embossing buddy, just give it a quick wipe. Now, for the fun. So all we're gonna do is put a little bit of Tombow on both ends. You could use tear and tape as well if that is your preference. And then we're gonna move it a little bit further down this time. So you wanna hold that down for a few seconds, let it set, and then you're just ever so slightly gonna pull this up so that it lines up with your edge, because you need that buckle in the middle. You need it to pop up, otherwise your tea bag is not going to fit. Okay, and then if you end up with a little smudge like I did, just use your adhesive eraser. Glue all over the place, it would seem. Okay, and then you're just gonna pop in your little tea bag. So you could still leave it where it's, this one's higher up, this one's lower down. Spiced Christmas cheer. Pomme épicée, I'm guessing. Now, to put your front on, just open it up and glue on your mat. And remember, this is not my traditional size mat. I'm just using up scraps. It does give you a nice white, thick white border though, doesn't it? Frames the mug pretty well. Okay, so that is it. That's all, folks. So shrinky dinks and die cutting, and it's like a 3D thing. A 3D project and a card all in one. So many fun things, and it didn't take very long. If I had stopped talking, it probably would have gone a little faster, but be sure to check out that Cup of Christmas in the holiday catalog. It is on what page? Page 34. And it is a bundle, so you will save 10% when you order it as a bundle. There are some gorgeous samples in here. It's reversible. It's fantastic. And then also, if you want to check out the Harvest Hellos, that is my product of the week. So if you order that by end of day Sunday, September 8th, which page is that on? You will receive a 6x6 package of DSP in any one of the color families. So here is this. The bundle is $47.50 in Canada, and it includes obviously the Harvest Hello stamp set and the Apple Builder Punch. So, like I was saying, if you order that with me by end of day Sunday, September 8th, you will receive a pack of the 6x6 color family DSP. So you can get the in colors, either the current ones or last year's. You can get the subtles, the brights, the regals, or the neutrals. And you're getting the whole package. So I'm actually, usually my product of the week uses up my discount so that I can give you a bonus, but this time it's actually going above and beyond my discount. So I want you to take advantage of this one because it's a really good deal. So that's all, my crafty friends. I hope you enjoyed that. Got to get everything off here so it stops being so sticky. And that is all. So we will see you again on Monday with a new product of the week video, and then again next Friday for the next in the Creating for Christmas series. Thank you so much for watching, my crafty friends. Bye.